A week.
Hey friends, welcome back. Tiffany and Hosea here. Just kidding. This is Will. He's something else. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new around these parts, then I do hope you enjoy what you see. You're in for a treat because any video that has Will in it is usually full of some sort of random surprise.
It's like a mixture of Jose and Jeremiah. I realized that wasn't a name after I said it.
What'd you say?
Hosea.
No, that's a name.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess everything's a name, and there are people out there named Orangelo and stuff like that.
True story. Anyway, so today we are bringing to you segment 2 of our Q&A special for our celebrating hitting 2,000 subscribers. I feel like I'm at a news desk.
I know, that's what I was saying.
Next time we should come in and I should be like, Gerald here with 5 o'clock news. Okay.
Sure you're not Hosea?
No, Gerald. I know what my mama named me. Okay, so we are going to answer a few more of your questions from the Q&A call that I did when we celebrated our 2,000 subscribers. These first few questions are from Erin H. on YouTube. Hello, Erin, and thank you for submitting. Let's see. She asks, what's something you wish you had known before starting YouTube that would have made it easier for you? And I guess this is aimed mainly towards me because
it's your channel.
It's my channel. It's a family channel.
It's a family channel, but
I
do more of the back end stuff. You're the face.
I'm the face. Something I wish I would have known that would have made it easier. I don't know really, because I mean I knew I came into it. I knew I wasn't gonna like get rich quick, and I knew that it was gonna take time and effort. And I don't know. Do you know how I should answer that? You know me better. I mean, can you think of something I might be overlooking?
I think a lot of it's just the initial investment if you want to put out something that's relative quality.
Yeah.
I mean, you go through and you think it's, you're watching other people's, and it seems really seamless and simple. Like, they're just like, oh, I'm going to get out my phone, do a little video here, and then all of a sudden you watch your video and I was like, why doesn't it look like everybody else's? Then you realize it's because they drop money on phones, lenses, lighting, and then
editing
they
software.
Throw it into high-end computers to edit it. They are aware of capturing B-roll and where that needs to go, throwing music in the background. I mean, all the little stuff that is it necessary? No. But it's stuff that you can put in there, like I
guess in the grand scheme, what's one thing that would have made it easier? Knowing how to edit video. Like for like a very simple basic. I started using Windows Movie Maker, which on my computer was horrible. I know there are many people out there that use it because it's free software.
It's good software.
It's
the computer that she was using was
bad.
It wasn't
slow.
Bad. It was like 6 years old.
Yeah. So I had a lot of issues with it crashing and losing footage, like losing progress on what I had already edited. So that was bad. We eventually, shortly after that actually, invested in Adobe Premiere Pro, and we do pay a monthly fee for that, and it's $53 a month, but it is totally worth it. I knew I was going to hopefully be in this for the long haul. I knew that this was going to be both a hobby and a source of income for us eventually. So investing in something that I could learn to put out quality or better quality videos earlier was important to me, and I taught myself how to use. There's so much. I mean, you can see my videos. It's not like I do anything fancy, but there's still a lot to learn. But I think I've learned enough to where.
Which for anybody getting started, Windows Movie Maker will do more than enough to carry you to the point where, if you do well enough on your YouTube, it'll pay for itself to where you can move up into something slightly higher quality. The reason that we jumped into it as early as we did is because I do graphic design, so having access to Photoshop, Premiere, Illustrator, After Effects, InDesign, I use that stuff.
Yeah. And he does some of the like special effect type stuff on my videos with some of the other programs. And so he was getting back into teaching because he had been out of school for a while, and he wanted to get back into making sure he didn't lose the skills that he had gained.
Not getting back into teaching. She cut herself off.
Sorry.
Teaching myself.
Yeah, teaching himself. Anyway.
Relearning.
So I guess that's one thing I would have known but it's a skill that I learned fairly quickly because I had to. I mean, I was the one editing my own videos. He worked and didn't have time to, I mean, I was doing a lot of it on my own.
I would help her with what I could when I could, but she couldn't wait for me to get home from work and stuff. So there's a lot of, again, on YouTube, you can look up different ways to make that stuff work.
That's how I taught myself. I was like, how do I do this? And I would watch a YouTube video and I would do it. So, Aaron also asks, how do the kids like being on camera? And I really should have had them down here to ask or to answer, but
I mean, all you have to do is watch the videos the kids eat it up.
They're hams. Many of you have become very familiar with the children. I try to incorporate them into most videos, including something as simple as grocery hauls. I let them close out the video, or they like to say hi. I think because of today's technological society, kids are involved in technology way earlier than we ever were as children. And so they're familiar with YouTube, and they watch other kids and families on YouTube, and I think Jackson especially, he's just like, wow, I'm kind of like them.
Well, the big thing for me is the way that I see it. Anybody who's old enough and grew up through technology, how one thing eventually becomes another thing. It's, MySpace becomes Facebook kind of, and everything starts evolving. It seems to me like YouTube is almost like the next Facebook, where now instead of everybody posting text to a wall, which slowly turned into people posting pictures to a wall, now everybody's doing video, it seems like. It seems like everybody's taking videos of their families and they're adding little narratives to them. And so, like she was saying, the kids see other kids on all these different channels, and so they kind of want to emulate them. So anytime Tiffany has her camera out and she's shooting little things here and there, they want to be in front of the camera.
Whether I want them to or not. There are times where I'm in the middle of recording a grocery haul, typically, because that's the ones where I need them to be quiet. And they will try to jump in and start talking because they think it's a vlog, and it's not. But I would say they enjoy it. Alice is very shy around people she doesn't know, in real life, but she opens up on camera. So I think on the channel she's more open than she would be.
Oh, absolutely.
In front of actual people. So it's kind of interesting to see that side of her also. Aaron also asked, as the kids grow older, how will you navigate them being online and keeping them safe from weenie heads online? And I think what she's getting at is with them being, as we grow and we get bigger and they get older, the internet, nothing's safe.
The kids can't read, and we plan on keeping it that way.
Yeah, if you're talking about in terms of mean comments towards them, they're not moderating my comments, so they're not going to see that necessarily. And right now they can't read, like you said. Even
when they get to the point where they're reading, I'm sure it'll be quite some time before they actually get on to read the comments, before she gets a chance to filter through any potential rude people. Not that you get a lot of them.
No, I don't get much, but we're also not that big yet.
Right.
And I'd like to think that most people aren't out to be malicious towards children. I'd like to think that. I mean, we watch channels like Daily Bumps, and their children, Ollie and Finn, they're recognized when they go out in the community because they're so big, and they're younger than our children are. And so we were kind of talking about that in the car. I mean, with any sort of fame, not to say we're famous, but having...
It's hard to answer this stuff without sounding pretentious.
But
we're going to be the biggest channel ever. No, that's not even what we're trying to do.
But if put into that situation where it is something like where... Because I don't think anyone goes into this fully expecting to become... Daily Bumps, if you're not familiar, they're a very large, very popular daily vlog channel. And they're very transparent with their children involved and everything. Anyway, so I think we're just going to take it... If we ever feel any sense of insecurity and safety hazard, obviously our family comes first. Aaron also asks, if you could move anywhere in the world with your family that you've never been to, where would it be? And this is similar to a question we had in segment 1, asking where we would vacation to, but this would be, where would you move to? Your answer might be the same.
It might be. I mean, one of the things that's kind of on my to-do list, I don't know, wish list, is learn another language. So moving to a place like Japan where a lot of people there do know English, but so it would be more incentive to learn a different language is if everyone else is speaking it around you. Otherwise, that would also be a main proponent for where else I would think about moving is, where do they speak English?
Yeah, because I don't necessarily want to learn another language. So where would you move?
Yeah, I mean, obviously your first quick couple of answers would be England, Canada. Jeez. But, I don't know, it's cold up there.
As far as moving, you know what? It was hard for us to move 2 states away from where we were born, raised, and used to, where our family is. So I can't see us moving much further. Like,
you never know what's going to take you.
Right.
Roll the clock back 5 years, I don't think we would have thought ourselves in Kentucky.
I used to say if I were to move anywhere, it would be Arizona, and I'm not really sure why that came to be. I think it was just because like less natural disaster and a temperate climate.
Hot.
It's hot, but we're used to humid heat here.
Seeing as it was like 115 there not too long ago.
But it's dry heat. So I don't really know how I would answer that. Like, I guess in a dream world where we were rich and we'd move somewhere but still be able to visit family frequently, like, yeah, I really don't know. Yeah. I'm very tied to kind of where we're at between back to Michigan and in Kentucky. So
wherever they have fast internet, really, really fast internet.
Aaron's last question: if you could have an easy button for only one chore around the house that you'd never have to do again, what would it be?
That was good. We had it. They thought their video froze.
I kind of like cleaning. I would say laundry.
Laundry does itself. Folding the laundry, maybe.
Yeah, I don't mind the washing, drying. I don't like the folding and hanging up and putting away. So putting away laundry, I guess.
Yeah, it's one of those things where easy buttons. I was like instantly done. The first thing that comes to mind is like dusting. Just boom, dust is out of your house.
You don't dust.
I know.
But you could choose that, and I could choose laundry, and we'd be good. Do we get 2? We get 2. Each of us get 1. Michael Kingston asks, what does Will do for a living?
Will merchandises for Pepsi. I drive around store to store and put pop on a shelf. Glorious living.
Pays well.
Pays well.
Because it's hard work, I hear.
Yeah, it's very physically active, very...
Keeps him young.
Physically strenuous job, but...
It also gives them 8 hours, at least 8 hours a day to listen to podcasts.
Yeah.
So, we can't complain. I can't complain. Budget Dutchie asks, what tips do you have for a very newbie budget YouTuber? So when we started this channel, I knew that we were going to have some budget and financial stuff on it. And I guess my first tip is to decide how transparent you're going to be with your financial numbers. So for us, when we first started, I included pretty much everything, like right down to the dollar amount we were bringing in and every penny going out. I have since changed that because I don't even know what about it made me feel uneasy, but something about it made me feel uneasy enough to where I now do not disclose how much we bring in, but I do show you everything that goes out. And so I guess my first tip would be to decide
what you're comfortable with.
What you're comfortable with, yeah. So that way your viewers don't get used to one thing and then you change in the middle, kind of like we did. We weren't too far into the budget videos when I did that. I think maybe we only did 1 or 2. Finding your comfort zone and running with that.
Save all of your money. Never spend it. Profit.
Easy. Next question is from Mary Raybon. How much is your weekly budget for a family of 4, and does that include pet foods, toiletries, household items, etc.? I'm assuming she means like the weekly grocery budget, usually. So
our pets eat us out of house and home.
We don't have pets, we just have kids. Our weekly grocery budget, I try to stick between $50 and $75. That does not include toiletries, household, etc. So the reason for that is because toiletries and stuff I typically stock up on, and so I don't need to buy them frequently. I buy from Amazon or Costco typically. Sometimes I'm able to buy stuff super cheap on clearance, and so that's just included in a separate household and personal care budget. So I don't combine them. It's just my personal preference. I like to track separately how much we're spending on those things. It helps me to budget better when I separate them. So that would be the answer to that. I don't think you have anything to add. What are you doing? You did something goofy. I can tell by your face. Okay. Next question is from Karen Cabello. I want to know the story about how you and Will met and how you started your own family.
Well, when a man
Loves
a
a
woman. I'm not going to sing it. Not doing it.
When a man
Nope.
loves a woman. Anyway, sorry, that will be in a separate video. I forgot that I kept that in there a few times. As I mentioned in the first segment of the Q&A, someone else had asked that as well, and I've been asked multiple times in the past how Will and I met, and we will be doing a separate video on that. As far as how we started our own family,
when a man
loves a woman.
loves a woman.
I will say, just to answer that, because I don't know if that'll be part of our how we met, because that's not really how we met.
The way that God intended.
The journey to starting our own family didn't necessarily start off on a happy note. We actually did get pregnant on our honeymoon, and we miscarried. And so it then took us another 8 or so months to get pregnant with Jackson. So that's how we started our family, basically. Last question from Yellowbird30. You do a great job meal planning each week. Do you find that you also need to incorporate time management into your days so that you can successfully make your planned meals? This is a real struggle for me, and I would welcome any suggestions so that food purchased is not wasted. Time management, not so much, but I do plan in such a way that I don't really buy excess food. The only time we really have excess food is when the meal plan changes for some reason, whether I don't feel well or someone, like, we're sick, or
she makes slightly too much and we
That
have
happens.
an extra leftover day.
yeah, because I usually plan for like a meal and then a leftover day, and sometimes it turns into another leftover day.
And sometimes she really overdoes it and it comes
battery's
3 or
gonna die.
4 leftover days.
Not often. But I plan our food and groceries in such a way that I don't really buy excess, so food doesn't typically go to waste. As far as time management, like for preparing meals, like when we get home from grocery shopping, I'll prep any food that needs to be prepped. I'll wash and prep veggies and fruits. I will separate meat and stuff into packages, etc. So hopefully that answered that question. It's a little rushed because my battery light is blinking at me. So that's it for this segment 2 of our Q&As. We really thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this. If you have questions for a future Q&A segment, drop them down below. I'd love to have them. And until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.
What's up?